I saw the first Predator when I was a little kid, and I remember thinking it was scary and it was cool, and yeah, that's the Predator. That's it's about a bunch of hard dudes taking out some expert commando from another planet, and it's a cool premise. I thought it was scary and I thought it was cool. I remember seeing the second movie on VHS, and I don't remember much other than Gary Busey getting cut in half. Then after that, I saw Alien vs. Predator, which was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. And at the time, I liked Paul W.S. because he had made Event Horizon, which was a cool movie. I thought that was a spooky and visually interesting film. And I saw his Resident Evil adaptation. And I'm a fan of Resident Evil, and I saw that movie, and I liked it at the time. I was a kid when that movie. I was like 11, 12 years old. So I liked the movie at the time, and I liked the director. So I saw Alien vs. Predator because he directed that. And I remember thinking it was just bad. It wasn't good. And I kind of just lost faith after that one. And then the subsequent Resident Evil movies that he did. So, yeah, I learned my lesson. I lost faith in Paul W.S. Anderson. After AVP, I never really felt like watching anything else involving the Predator. Any other, I think Robert Rodriguez made a movie. Didn't feel like watching that. I think outside of that original film, the concept behind the Predator isn't that interesting to me. And he doesn't even look that cool outside of that first movie. You take the Predator and put him in New York City, or you put him in, I don't know, wherever AVP took place was like in the Arctic or something. He doesn't fit in. Again, I think the original film is a great concept. I think the idea of like our best soldiers versus their best hunter in this like hot jungle area, kind of primal man hunting beast hunting man. I think that concept is awesome, and I think the Predator looks great for that. But outside of that, it's just, I don't really buy the whole he's a great hunter. I don't know. He's not like the Xenomorph. The Xenomorph, I feel like you can drop him anywhere, and he's the perfect specimen, as Wayland Court would say. The Xenomorph is definitely a lot cooler than the Predator, but yeah, outside of that first movie, I'm not a huge fan. Despite not being a fan, I went to go see this because of Shane Black, and I like Shane Black. I think he's a good writer, or at least a distinctive filmmaker. Seeing this movie, The Predator, it beat seeing anything else at the time, just because this is made by someone with a unique style, and it's always fun to see a familiar artist or filmmaker do his thing. So I went to go see it for that. And this is definitely a Shane Black movie in terms of the writing and the characters. It's no surprise. He was in the first film, so he's making a sequel to it. So that's nice to see someone who has that kind of connection to the franchise helm the direction in which it goes now. But this movie, it doesn't really do much with the Predator name. If their goal is to make a cinematic universe out of the Predator name, they're off to a weak start, or not a strong enough start. So let's talk about the plot. The plot is boring and kind of nonsensical, and just go with it kind of attitude with it. I remember watching it just thinking, I just want to see more kills. I just want to see the Predator in action and the heroes in action, and seeing them, get through surviving the Predator's attacks, and that's all I wanted to see. I wanted to see the characters talk to each other, and I wanted to see kills. I didn't care why they were there, what they were doing, what the MacGuffin was. I didn't care for any of that. That all was pretty weak. I guess one of the MacGuffins in this film is, outside of the bracelet, the Predator bracelet, was the kid, forget the actor's name. Good kid, good actor. But, yeah, he's the MacGuffin kind of because the Predators want him for his, autism. They think that that's evolutionarily higher up than what people without autism have. Sure, I mean, it's a dumb movie. I'll buy it, but otherwise it's not that strong of a argument, and clearly shows that Shane Black is kind of just saying, just go with it. We just need an excuse to have the Predator kill things and have badasses survive and try to outsmart the Predator. Just go with it. The protagonist is, and this goes for the side characters as well, all the men and Olivia Munn's character and our villain, they're not particularly complex people or characters, but you do kind of, they're not totally disposable. The disposable people are like the scientists and the faceless military men that get killed off, the red shirts. I like that this film doesn't just treat these side characters as expendable. It even takes its time to introduce one by one, their names, their background, what they did wrong in their past, and that's refreshing, that's nice, and it doesn't just, the first chance it gets to kill them off. There's a moment where the Predator pulls one of the guy that is like the religious Latino looking guy, pulls him out, and I thought, okay, here we go, this guy's gonna get it bad. He's the first one to die. This is that cliche. This guy's gonna get it. No, he didn't. The hero manages to shoot him out of the Predator's arm and save him, and he's intact and he's fine, and he gets to go on to the next few scenes and have his little funny moments there too. He's a good character. He was, he made it all the way to the ending of the film, and I didn't expect that. I thought we were gonna lose him in the middle of the second act, but just kind of set the message that Shane Black likes these characters. He wrote them. He made them up. He's not gonna get rid of them so easily. In fact, he liked them so much that the first one that dies doesn't die until the beginning of the third act, which is it's interesting. It's nice. All the kills we've seen up to this point have all been like really minor characters, not even side characters. And since we're talking about the character deaths and the third act, the villain's death, played by a great actor. I liked him a lot. He was in Black Panther. He was in. He's a great actor. He's the villain in this film. He's the head of the alien Area 51 department or whatever. He's kind of an jerk. He's the antagonist to our hero, and he pretty cold dude. I think the most radical thing he said was he's got his hands up, he's being our hero's got a gun to his back, and he's like, at the count of 10, and if he doesn't drop the gun, blow the kid's kneecaps off. That was just so shocking and evil. What an evil thing to say. But he does a great job playing that character. Well, anyways, that villain apparently died in this movie. And I knew that after I saw the movie. I thought, yeah, he died, right? But I couldn't remember how or when. I just remember the last thing he did was kill one of his own men. And that's it. Like, apparently it happens really fast, and I kind of remember this as I saw it. It was just really flashy and fast, and then something else happened immediately afterwards, so it didn't give me enough time to process what that was, or if it was still leading up to some, I don't know. It happened really fast. But I think he mounted the Predator's kind of shoulder gun, and it turned on him and just shot his face clean off, or his head. And I think that's how he died. By accident or by, user error or whatever. but it happens so fast. There's no, I mean, it's just, I didn't, if maybe that was the point, it was supposed to get a laugh, but it didn't because it happened so fast and just so quick. And it was so dark too, that last scene where they're kind of in the woods. Even the bad guys and the good guys working together to hunt the predator, the big predator. Yeah, that whole scene could have been way cooler if it was just daytime. Eventually, the scene goes on long enough that it does get daytime, but yeah, that villain needed a better ending. He was such a jerk, and yeah, he deserved a glory kill, a glory death, but it just happened so fast. I don't think that was intentional. So since we're talking about that villain and how shocking and awful he is, the writing and the tone in general is kind of raunchy, and if you have thin skin, I can see it's insensitive. There's a part where they like call his kid retarded, and they like drop Olivia Munn's character. It's like, oh, here, I'll drop down and I'll catch you, and then he gets distracted and she just falls, and it's very like ungentlemanlike. I don't know, it's just a bit of raunch going on in the tone, and but that could be because it's a pretty masculine movie, and the Predator franchise started out pretty masculine, and so it's expected. I mean, I think Jesse Ventura says he's a sexual tyrannosaur in the first movie. There's some raunch in this franchise, and I think Shane Black just kind of kept that tone going. But I welcomed it. I thought this is totally Shane Black, and totally this franchise. I think they just synced up. I do want to say though that kind of like dumbed down raunchiness is okay for the movie, but when it comes to trying to explain its plot, or like for example Tom Jane's Tourette's, it's so like simplified and kind of unintelligent. Like he has that kind of like child's understanding of what Tourette's is. Like I'm sure Tom Jane did some research into what Tourette's, people who suffer from Tourette's go through and how it affects them, but Shane Black didn't, and he just wrote it as cursing, just curse, and it'll be a punchline at the end of the scene. When we don't know how to end it, we'll just have you curse. And I thought that was kind of lazy or simple. And also, again, I want to bring up the autism thing. It's like, maybe there's a science journal out there that says autism is an advanced level of consciousness or whatever, but last time I checked, we still call that a disability. So it's, but whatever. The film is just go with it. And just some more negatives. The cinematography is just bleh. I don't know. It's whatever. Not really Shane Black's strong suit. The score was adequate. A little bit better than the cinematography for sure. Nothing really spectacular there though. Yeah, definitely the highlights of this movie were the writing and the characters, the tone a little bit, and the entertainment, the overall entertainment of it, the spectacle of it. I expected more out of Shane Black, especially since I feel like since he was in the first movie, he has a kind of a special attachment with this franchise. I thought he would have tried harder, but maybe he did, and the studio kept interfering and asking him to rewrite things or cut things, and who knows. But what matters is that the final product isn't as great as I thought it would be, or as I would like it to be, which is a shame. But I still had fun, still thought it was entertaining. It just it could have been way better, and I thought it would have been because of Shane Black's involvement with the project. Really, if you're gonna try and establish a cinematic universe, that end credit scene or whatever, that epilogue scene, it definitely is setting up a sequel or its own cinematic universe. You want this movie to be strong. You want this one to be really good to kind of at least, start you off. Otherwise, why even bother hinting at it? And that's a shame. You think they would have tried harder because of that, but they didn't. It doesn't matter if the sequels end up bad. If we can at least get one good movie, that would be great. But that wasn't the case. Not every start to a cinematic universe can be like Iron Man. So, what do I give this? I mean, overall, it was entertaining. I liked it. Could have been better. A lot of reason to believe it would have been better, but it had a lot of faults and a lot of shortcomings. But still enjoyable. I think it's middle of the road, so like around 5, maybe 6 out of 10. Yeah, I know it's probably not playing at a lot of theaters right now, but if thinking about renting it, why not? Sure, if you're a Predator fan especially, gotta watch it. I imagine it's better than those Alien vs. Predator sequels and anything P.W.S. Anderson would make anyway. So, yeah, that's it.